Hi, it's Hans. Oh, it's Friday night. I just had a great workout, bench and bent rows and some arms. I was able to keep my warm-up sets down, and I just attacked my one heavy set of each. Today's topic is big men should have a better life too. So I'm a big guy. I'm 6 feet tall, maybe 6'1". I think I was 6'1" and I got shorter with age. And I weigh quite a bit, 275, 280, something like that. And I've been big like that. And I've been much bigger than that, over 300 pounds. Even back in high school, I was well over, I was over 200 pounds. I was big. I was big in the college. I was big in grade school, and part of the reason I'm talking to you tonight and why I'm talking about this at all is I think a lot of big men have a very poor life, and we're somewhat, some of us are punished for being big, and certainly we're inconvenienced at every turn, and very little in the world is set up for us. And it just makes for a very poor life at times, and sometimes that manifests into a really bad life where you're mistreated horribly. Certainly there'll be times when you've been made fun of, and even under the best of circumstances your life is probably going to be pretty rough, and that's what I'm trying to correct. I've learned some things in my life how to correct these bad situations, but it's not perfect. But I'm going to try to, find help for us, find help for me, find help for you. I mean, just simple things like shoes. Shoes aren't made for big men. All the good shoes are for small men. Pants are all made wrong. Clothes, all clothes are made wrong from big men. If you have any hope as a big man of looking decent, you've got to spend an enormous amount of money on clothes. It's not fair, really. It isn't fair at all. And you're probably not going to find decent shoes. You're very rarely going to find decent shoes. Another problem is that people will think you're stupid. That's a big problem, isn't it? Even though you're not. There's a lot of small people that are as stupid as we are, right? And a lot of smart big guys are quite smart. Another problem is the world is kind of set up for the convenience of smaller people. And even though the bigger people are, let's say, gaining, in numbers, the small people kind of make most of the decisions, and they make everything to fit a smaller person. It's cheaper, for one thing. Doesn't do much for us. So yeah, there's that. Another problem is your proportions below your belt will look smaller than you should, compared to a smaller, leaner guy. And a lot of times for bigger men, your body type itself will make you smaller, and we'll explore ways to counteract that. Is a huge problem for big men. Another big problem for big men is sometimes we get stuck with women that aren't that great. We're just expected to go out with the less attractive women, to marry the first girl who would agree to have sex with us. Some of us, it may take, you probably remain a virgin a lot longer than, let's say, smaller, normal, leaner guys. Another huge problem. Just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're attracted to bigger women or uglier women or women who are cruel to you. And that was part of my problem. I had a verbally abusive wife, and by the time I realized what was wrong, my life was such a mess, and I was so big and so beat up from her verbal abuse that pretty unattractive. So it makes it worse, and I think when you're a big guy, people think you can absorb a lot of abuse, and you can't. And because you've been big and you've been, kind of put down your whole life, you're very good at tolerating the abuse of the world, but it doesn't make much of a life for you. So let's find ways to put a stop to that. The reason I'm talking about this is, I've learned a lot from guys on the internet, but the guys on the internet, a lot of their advice isn't going to work for you and I. We're too big. We need other advice specific to our situation, and that's what I want to bring you. Those guys, it's easy for them to get a lean belly, to get a lean face. It's easier for them to have good-looking clothes for cheap. It's easier for them to get laid by good-looking women. It's just the facts of life. So we, big men, we got to stick together. And I'm going to help you do this. Let's work on it together. All for tonight.